Greetings, all you fine, beautiful, wonderful souls. This is Wayne the Musical Hermit here today, and today I'm going to be giving it to you, as you can read in the title, my top 10 favorite Stephen Stills songs. Now, over the last 3 weeks, I really never heard much of Stephen Stills outside of maybe songs here and there, but after listening to Neil Young and then just falling into a Stephen Stills album, I'm like, you know what, let's do some Stephen Stills. Let's give a top 10. And this was actually a really hard list to do because, let's face it, out of a lot of different musicians, Stephen Stills, very musical, very musically adept. So anyway, let's get into the list with my number 10. From the album Thoroughfare Gap, I got Midnight Rider. Now, the song the Allman Brothers wrote, made famous, but there's something about Stephen Stills' version that absolutely kills it. Gives it a whole new dimension. And to me, like, if you could do a cover and all you can think about is the cover by the other person, like, from knowing Allman Brothers song, but having Stephen Stills there, I always prefer the Stephen Stills version over the Allman Brothers. That's just me. Fantastic, very adept musically Stephen Stills is, and it really works on this album. On to song number 9 is from the album Illegal Stills. It's going to be Midnight in Paris. Absolutely love this song. Fantastic arrangement. That's one thing that Stephen Stills is really great at, is arranging songs and giving them a great feel. And this song just always seemed to really get me, where it's like, okay, I really, really dig this song and can't wait to hear more of it. Song number 8 for me is from Stephen Stills 2. That is Sugar Babe. Once again, one of those great Stephen Stills songs about love, counterculture, just really hits it out of the park, but he has that soft voice that really sets it apart from a lot of different songs and shows not only was he a great songwriter, he's also a pretty good vocalist. On to song number 7 for me, from his 80s album, which is Right By You, I'm going to go with Flaming Heart. Absolutely killer track. Features a guitar solo by the legendary Jimmy Page. Amazing, amazing song. Amazing album. I'm going to say this, for an 80s album, this is really good. This really shows Stephen Stills' ability to adapt to a lot of different things. I know Stephen Stills wasn't really happy with some of this, and I know it was considered a commercial failure, even though it hit, like, I think the top 90 in the US, but it's still a really good record. Like, I can go back through this and love a lot of songs off here. There's 3 songs off here with Jimmy Page on it, and I think this one is one of the stronger songs. On to song number 6 on my list, from the album Stills, self-titled album, Cold, Cold World. Absolutely love this. That whole album has song after song after song that's just iconic, great, works so well. Stephen Stills' ability to just write songs that are good is one of the reasons I absolutely have fallen in love with them. It doesn't feel like there's a shortcut taken. It doesn't feel like it's forced or anything. It just feels natural, like it just fits there. On to song number 5. Fishes and Scorpions from Stephen Stills 2. Features a guitar solo by Eric Clapton. To think about this at this point, you've played with Page and Clapton. There's another guy I'm going to talk about later that he's played with, or maybe even a couple. Just absolutely killer stuff on this album, and more I just listen to Stephen Stills, just the absolute amazing guitar work, guitar playing on it, just killer. Song number 4 for me, from what's it called? I think it's called Stills Alone. Treetop Flyer. Beautiful song. It's just Stephen Stills with an acoustic guitar. And some would say, well, how would that work? Works amazing. I find as he gets older, the more and more and more his voice starts to sound more like Joe Cocker. And it works here for an acoustic album. I would say this would be pretty much my template for any band looking to kind of do like an unplugged album, would be this, because it's really good. There's a couple songs that have a little bit of instrumentation, but most of this album is just Stephen Stills and acoustic guitar. That's all it is. Treetop Flyer pretty much tells the tale of a guy working, pretty much goes to Vietnam, learns to fly these planes, comes back home, and really gets treated like crap, and doesn't have a place. So instead, he starts turning more into like the drug trade, the illegal guns running, and all that. And it kind of tells the story of how he kind of ventured into that. And it's a really good song. On to song number 3 for me, Old Times, Good Times, from Stephen Stills' debut. Features a guitar part by Jimi Hendrix. And to think about this at this point, you've worked with Clapton, you've worked with Hendrix, you've worked with Page. Like, that shows how much respect you have, even at that time, in the music community, where these guys are willing to work with you. And Stephen Stills, like, this song feels very much like a really good, kind of has that Hendrixy feel, but on top of like Stephen Stills, like, I felt they really complemented each other on the song really well. Just a fantastic song. Song number 2 for me, Go Back Home, from Stephen Stills' debut. Last 2 have been from there. Just absolutely great. If you wanted to know what Stephen Stills would have sounded like in Cream, this is it. This has that Clapton. Clapton's playing on this. It very much has kind of like that White Room vibe to it. And I think they really did. Like, Hendrix and him complement each other. Hendrix and Page and him Stills and Page complemented each other very well. It's just a great song. It's my number 2. But number 1 for me, it's a song from Stills, I believe Stills Alive, Spanish Suite. A song with him and features Herbie Hancock on keyboards. Killer song. Stephen Stills not only plays acoustic Spanish style guitar, but he also sings in Spanish, I believe. And I believe it's him singing. I could be wrong. It was a kind of a demo at the time. Like, it was one of the songs that he was working on and just never went anywhere until it came out years later. But man, this song is 11 minutes of Stephen Stills' masterclass on why he belongs in a list of the pantheon of not only one of the great, I think, musicians, but also one of the great, wouldn't even say musicians per se. I'd probably say great music people for arrangements, but also songwriter. Fantastic songwriter. And works really well. Like, I came up with like 5 or 6 different lists, and Spanish Suite ended up at number 1 on every single one of them. I absolutely love the song. He's singing Spanish. It has that Spanish flair. Works perfectly. Just some honorable mentions before I finish up the video. Just some of the songs off here. Black Flame features Ringo Starr on drums off his debut. What else on here I didn't quite put on there? Myth of Sisyphus from his self-titled album. Soldier, Circlin', Bo Coop Yumbo from Thoroughfare. Can't Get No Booty from Thoroughfare Gap. 50-50, Right By You from his Right By You album. And Amazonia from Stills Alone made my list as well, but or my honorable mentions. But that's my list. I really want to know what you guys think. Comment down below. Tell me what your top 10s are. And once again, thank you for watching. Really, really does mean a lot. But this is me here signing out. Peace.